My name's Alex Jones. I'm playing Jimmy Conception, and at the minute just doing acting part-time, bar work mostly as well.
My name's Ciara O'Neill. I'll be playing the part of Jackie, and I'm a recent graduate from Liverpool Hope in Performing Arts.
My name is Samantha Hill. I play Debbie Christie, and I currently work at Greg's and Shiverpool and a Princess Party entertainer.
Right, my name's Paul Taylor, occupation's an actor, and the character I play is Jimmy Forshaw, also known as Jimmy Foreskin in the play.
My name is Andrew Games. I'm an actor from Wirral, Merseyside, and the role I play in this play is Norman.
My name's Anthony Roberts. I play Dave. What I do is I'm currently in John Moores University. I've been past experience. I've been in the Everyman for 10 years. So at the moment I'm going back into my second year of university now in John Moores.
I'm Donna. I'm a barmaid / actress, and the character I'm playing is Joan.
My name's Esther, and I play Angela. And my day job is I work in a cafe and I try and do acting on the side.
My name is Steve Webster. I'm a freelance director of photography. In this production, I've been roped in by Dave, who is mum and dad's next door neighbour, into being the lighting and sound technician.
My name's Dave Thelwell. I'm a decorator and I live in Liverpool. This play is based on me, which was 25 years ago, and it's the experiences that I had, and there was a lot of funny experiences and a lot of sad experiences. So this play is based on me and what happened, and hopefully it's going to bring out the funny side and the sad side of what happened in my experience in Iraq over the 6 months. Basically, for years and years, I've always wanted to sort of write a book or do a play on it, and I didn't know how to go about it. And then when you hear like sort of Chinese whispers in a pub, I heard that Mike was a playwright and all that, and then I approached him. I said, and I told him my story.
Yeah, my name's Mike Howell. I'm an actor and a playwright. I've been around Liverpool for about 20 years doing that. Dave Thelwell approached me a while ago to ask me if I'd write a stage play about some big thing that happened in his life. Dave had been to see the previous play that I wrote, which was called One Dream, the Beryl Marsden story, at the Epstein Theatre. And when he told me the story, I felt as though I had to do it because it's a great story.
And he was like, wow. I said, would you do a play on this? And he went, yeah, I would.
It's based upon a true story, which if you're a playwright makes things a lot easier because you don't have to invent too many things out of your head. And if that sounds like a cop-out, it's not, because I really wanted to do it. And the story is about a gang of Scouse lads who were kept hostage in a 5-star hotel by Saddam Hussein during the Gulf War. They were forced to drink beer at 7p a pint all night, and what they got up to. That's one side of it, and the other side of it is they realised after a while that they were in mortal danger from this ruthless regime, and some of them tried to escape, and the consequences of that become clear in the play. Also, the wives play a very important part because it was their courage in coming over to Baghdad to see Saddam's people that really led to the freedom of their husbands. So they risked their lives, they risked being taken hostage, and that is like the cornerstone of the whole play.
What we had to do, we had to sit down over a few times and record the stories of what I'd done, and then we'd sort of do one recording for about 2 or 3 hours, do that, and then we finish, and then the next night I go, oh, I forgot about this, I forgot about that, and I wrote it down, and then a couple of weeks later we'd do another session with all the stuff that I forgot about, and when I was sort of talking about it, then it jogged my memory for other things, so then I'd write it down as we're talking, and then the next time I'd have more things to talk about. It is scary watching the events happening again, you know, and it's good for me to have a little bit of input here and say this and that, like, although it's not down to me, it's down to Mike because he's the director, but he's letting me have a little bit of input and thing, which I think is quite good. You know, it's going to bring it to life again. Well, not saying it was dead, you know, but, you know, to sort of put my input to it, you know, so yeah, it's going great, I'm loving it.
Roller coaster. It's a roller coaster emotionally for Dave and for the people who are there. It's a roller coaster emotionally for the actors, and we hope that in the end it'll be a roller coaster for the audience as well. Well, the main sources are by talking to the people themselves, the real people, recording their series of events, their little stories, their emotions, their feelings. That is the main source of research, because it's about human beings, and if you want to find out how human beings feel, you've got to listen to them. So it's been a listening process, really. There's been other research as well. I've been obviously on the internet to research the events that happened in 1990, exactly what went on, but the main thing is the people themselves that were the main source of the research. Yeah.
I've never had the same feeling. Well, I have had the feeling I had the same time when I met Saddam Hussein is when Liverpool won in the Champions League final. That was it. I was just, whoa. The adrenaline was up there, and that was the same, just sort of meeting him. You know, he was a very important person in the world then, where everyone was after him, and he's standing in front of you. You know, and then I did have an interview one time with the press, and they asked me, you know, what could have happened out there, and I went, I could have shot him. And I could have, easily. Could have got a gun in there, could have had one in my tool bag, no one would have known. Just shot him easily.
Dave, to me, he's more, from the script, he's more of a lad. He's like, he loves his wife, Jackie. He's a lad. He's more of the leader of the group, and in the story, there's a moment when he's on the phone to Jackie, and you can see the real emotion in the character, well, in Dave, in the real person. Yeah, the rehearsal process has been smooth. I think because it's a Scouse play, I've sort of adjusted well to it with the language of the way the Scousers speak, and it's been quite easy for me to adjust to the environment of the play. I think what struck me is the fact that 9 Scousers went to Baghdad to paint and decorate Saddam's palace. I just find it amusing that just 9 Scousers went to Baghdad, and then the struggle of it, where they're still living a life of luxury, but the hostages, and it is the struggle to get back home, really, back to reality.
I think I can relate to the character of Jackie, because she is quite a strong woman, as all the women in the play are, and I think all of us as the girls individually are portraying that really well. So I like to think that I'm a strong woman, so I think I do play the part of Jackie quite well. Yeah, I think at the start, I think we all seen it as more as like a comedy, and it was all going to be a bit of fun and stuff, but after you do your research and you know that all of this is true and that this actually happened to these women, it is very sad when you put yourself in that same situation. So when you are playing the part, it is a lot easier for you to get into the role, because as a woman you can feel yourself how that would make you feel if your husbands were taken away and something so bad like that was going to happen to you. It's been really good, and it's the first production I've been involved with since graduating, so it has helped me a lot, sort of got me into the way of knowing how things are going to go when I do other productions, and it's been a nice little rehearsal process, and really glad I've been able to be a part of it. Yeah, it's been really easy, it's been brilliant. I think because we all gel so well as like a group of friends together, it makes it a lot easier for us on stage, and hopefully I'd love to work with a lot of people here again in the future. So.
What you can expect from the play, hopefully, is a bit of comedy. You know, you get that in the first few scenes, and then hopefully you get to realise how serious the situation is that the lads were in. Because I mean, it was a serious situation. There was 4 of them held hostage. At first they were enjoying it, but it gets serious quite quick, and obviously the wives get involved as well, and also go out to Baghdad. The character I play, the way I see it, Jimmy is quite a lad. You know, he likes a laugh. He's also a bit of a gambler, so it says a lot about him. He's constantly talking about the horses, and he's always wanting his mum and his girlfriend, well, his wife, to fax him over the racing post. So yeah, he's a bit of a jackal lad. You know, always up for a laugh, but trying to portray that, and then also portray the seriousness of it isn't too difficult, but it's getting the funny part out first in the first few scenes, and then you start to see a lot more emotion that Jimmy shows. Well, for me, it's been quite intense, because normally when I've been doing rehearsals, it's been like, for the play it'd be like twice or once a week, whereas for this play it's been 3 times a week, Monday, Thursday and Sunday, and they've all been quite long rehearsals, 3 or 4 hours each rehearsal. So for me, I'm not used to being that intense, and I also joined 3 weeks before the play was meant to be on, so it's just been straight diving, get the script learned. So just been concentrating on this really for the past few weeks. Yeah, I'd say I relate to Jimmy, because I like to gamble as well. Not on the horses though, just on the footy. And yeah, like I say, he's a lad, and he's always having a laugh, and I like to think that I'm always trying to have a laugh as well. So it's been quite easy to jump into it, to be honest, because I do see a lot of similarities in the characters, and obviously I'm adding my own spin on it as well. I mean, there was another lad who was doing it before me. I don't know how he was playing it, I didn't see how he played it, but I imagine I've played it slightly different to him. So yeah, it's been quite fun.
The thing that got my attention is the fact that it was a true story, and obviously being from Liverpool, it was just so gripping, and I could hardly believe it was real, the story that I was getting given, and just captured my attention like that straight away. Yeah, Joan, she's obviously one of the wives of one of the hostages that gets captured, Jimmy. So yeah, she's a character I'd say is feisty and a bit of alcoholic. Bit of a party girl. Yeah. No, I think naturally as an actor you get to know people quickly and understand people's personalities and adapt to different people. I've never really had a problem with that. So it's just good to meet different people, and obviously what brings us all together is the fact that we all act and we all love to do it. And obviously the story, and it's amazing working with your fellow actors and building up a new relationship with them, like in role. Joan, yeah, I can totally relate to her. The fact she loves to drink, I can relate to that. The fact, she's so loyal to her husband, I can also relate to that. I think she's a really good character to play. She's not that much different to me personally, so just try and bring out a character more through me.
Well, to be honest, when I was researching the play, there was very little told about Norman, so a lot of it for me as an actor, I had to be a bit creative and think where this character came from and trying to give this character a backstory myself. So the way I see Norman, I think Norman's kind of I think he's a bit of the lost sheep amongst his friends. He's not taken very seriously at all. He's a little bit lost in regards to identity. I think he doesn't know himself, who he is and where he stands, and I can relate to that myself. We've all been in those stages of life where we've kind of had the fear of lacking identity and questioning ourselves who we are, and I think it's Norman's desire in the play to kind of find who he is, plant himself to the ground with confidence, and to be taken seriously amongst his friends. Well, it was word of mouth. A friend of mine who originally was in the play told me about open auditions for one of the roles, and he told me a little backstory about the play, and I'd never heard the story before, so at first I couldn't believe it. It was just right out there, and because I'm from the Wirral, but because Liverpool's my city, and anything involving Liverpool, the stories are told over and over again, but this story's been kind of under the radar, so this was a brand new story for me, and it really captivated my attention, knowing the risks that were taken during these events, the relationships that were at risk as well, and lives that were in jeopardy, not just the boys that were overseas, but the natives of that country as well when the war broke out, and the lives that it's affected. And that's what really attracted me to the play, would be the emotion. The comedy is a very important aspect of the play. Scousers have a great sense of humour, and we want to translate that in the play just as much as it did in real life itself in the event. So we've been trying to balance the comedy and the really emotional moments out. But I think the risk within the characters is what attracted me most, and the intensity and the peril that these men went through, and the fact that they came out unscathed and still standing today. Well, when I first started doing the play, I was familiar with Anthony Roberts, who plays Dave, and all the other cast members I didn't know. So it was very risky and unpredictable how it would turn out, especially amongst all the lads who were playing the lads in the play, because the banter and the comfortability within the characters is a very important thing for the chemistry to occur. So a lot of bonding had to be needed behind the scenes in order for us to feel comfortable around each other. But after each rehearsal, I mean, not only am I speaking for myself, I'm speaking amongst the rest of the cast. We've gotten more and more confident as the play has progressed. Only within this week have I met the real Dave, who was part of the event. So a lot of pressure was on us to try and translate his story well to him. We really wanted to impress him and make him feel confident in ourselves, as well as the play itself, that the story's being told right, the way it should be told, and the fact that he feels comfortable with how it's going. So far, so good. Each day, everything has been tweaked for the better, and the play's gotten stronger, and we as a cast have gotten stronger as well. So it's going good, and I'm excited to portray this to the audience and just show the hard work that's been put into this play. Well, I want to gain awareness about the story. I'm a huge fan of history. History has been one of my favourite hobbies all my life. I've been interested in all these kinds of events, but this event in particular, I was really not aware of at all, and I think awareness is a very important thing that we broadcast to the audience. I hope it gains so much awareness to the point where not only is the story being told, but the play itself can be shown in other places, not just in Liverpool, but around the nation, even going as far as overseas. Maybe a film being made with a different cast or even the same cast. Wouldn't that be great? So I think awareness is important. The expectations. I want to emotionally affect people. I think that's all of our intentions and expectations. We want to affect people. We want people to relate to these characters. We want people to, in the moment, kind of forget that they're in the audience and actually be planted in the character. I think the theme, if I could describe the play in maybe one or two words in regards to its themes, it's isolation and paranoia. I think we want the audience to forget the fact that they're not in a theatre, they are in this event themselves, an event and in a environment that they're completely unfamiliar with. And there's that question of, where am I, who are you, and am I going to get out of this alive in one piece, which is exactly how Dave and his friends felt during that time at the event. We want people to feel the emotion and feel exactly how these characters felt, and just tamper with them emotionally as well. So within the past few weeks, we've rehearsed in a variety of different venues, if you'd like to call them, for rehearsal space. Where we are currently is the shipping forecast, underground, where no one can find us, in our very dark, mysterious place. This has been our breeding ground in regards to the play developing itself. We've rehearsed at the Fly at the Loaf on Harbin Street, and we've also rehearsed at the Pilgrim on Pilgrim Street as well, which is very iconic for where the Beatles used to have a pint after every rehearsal.
What captivated me about it is I remember the Gulf War at the time because I was about 20 years old when it happened. So it was interesting because I've never heard this story before. So for something that I remember at the time and to hear this story, it was real, especially to be from Liverpool as well, and about Scouse workers over there. I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to be a part of it, and I'm lucky enough to be involved in it. I feel he's sort of the one who tries to see reason with the others, because Dave sometimes gets a bit angry because he's saying I'm not working for nothing and stuff like that, where I feel Jimmy is the one who sort of tries to see things a bit logically with a bit of reason, say, oh, try and keep it calm, let's see reason, lads, you know, stuff like that, and just trying to keep a lid on it, sort of thing. So, yeah, I've loved it. Enjoyed it very much. It's good getting to know everyone, because I was one of the last ones on board. I've really enjoyed it. It's great to be working with people. Everyone's more or less off script. We're getting through it, blocking it and everything, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it'll be great on the night. Looking forward to it.
Debbie's a businesswoman. She knows what she wants. She's very organised, and she took a particular interest in this case just because she felt the passion of the wives going all the way out to Baghdad to find their husbands. I'd say I'd relate to the character yes and no, because I am a very organised person, but I'm not much of a businesswoman. As you can tell with my jobs, I sort of float around with stuff like that, but she knows what she wants. She's very driven, and I suppose she's quite posh, and so am I, but yeah. Well, I suppose everyone else said this, but the fact that it's a true story, and it's very funny, and it has its serious elements, which it's quite difficult in a story to find something like that has an obvious punchline and that you can just bring the mood down straight away. And it's an amazing story. Like, the man who's involved in it, who it happened to, is just like, the things that he went through is just amazing, and the fact that we can portray that is just even more amazing. It's a really good cast, so we all get on really well, even though we didn't really know each other at the start. So we've all got good chemistry, I think, and yeah, it's been pretty good. Like, now obviously it's coming up to the weeks of the show, and everyone's really pulling together and like working hard to bring the scenes together, but it's nice that we've all sort of developed the scenes ourselves, so it's not just that we've just been given a script and that we just learn it and we do the scenes. We've all devised it ourselves, so it's quite nice for us. It's sort of, yeah.
Angela, I think, is very ballsy. She's very she was one of the main instigators to get the girls up on their feet and go out to Baghdad and save their husbands, and she's also quite headstrong, so she does that, adds to her like comedy of her character, but I think throughout the play she's also in pain because she wants to get her husband back, and she's very much in love with her husband. I think that it was a true story, and also it was a local story, and it's very relatable, and as I say, I just feel the characters are relatable, and then we've all felt like loss of a loved one, or just the need to be with someone who's far away and who's lost.
Well, to me, Dave's been going on about it for years to me, like about his time in Iraq and stuff. Like, whenever he's drunk down the pub and stuff like that, he'll mention it, he'll bring it up and stuff, and like then he mentioned he was doing a play, and obviously I'm interested as hell, and I think it's hilarious, and I just want to be a part of it, to be honest, and I'm just happy to be doing that. Yeah, I've been a freelance DOP for the last 10 years now. I've worked all over the country, sometimes out of it, making features, documentaries, short films, music videos, and everything else in between. Like, you know, I'm currently doing theatre tours and stuff, doing video wall, and yeah, just busy, keeping busy. Okay, I would say for the play, the idea is to try and sort of try and give a feel of the time and location, but it's down to restrictions of theatre as well and what's available kit-wise and stuff. But it's to try and make it more immersive. It's my job to help the performance. That's the purpose of me, is to aid performance, to try and make it as immersive and as immersive for the audience and immersive for the actors. Because if the actors feel like they're part of something, it means that the audience is more willing to go on the journey with them.
I think we also say where you can see the show. The show is on at the Lantern Theatre, which is a beautiful theatre in Blundell Street. If you want to buy tickets for the show, if you go onto the Lantern Theatre website, you can order your tickets through there. Come along and see it.